Hello and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers. Welcome to your timeless shadow reading. I am your reader, Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. I'm a professional witch, a professional intuitive. I am the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. I am the author of 2 books with a third one in progress. The first book is called Spell Ingredients. The second book is called Words of Grace. Words of Grace has a Kindle version available, and if you like, you can click the link in the description box and preview a good chunk of it for free, including the table of contents, and you'll see that it's primarily divided into chakra chapters. The first 3 cards down are about chakras. You might find it helpful. The original version, though, of Words of Grace, which we really had to tone down quite a bit to make it fit on Kindle, is over on patreon.com/drawingthecircle in our digital store, as well as the only place to find my first book, Spell Ingredients. Third one on the way will be there for sure. Our digital shop is really wonderful. I've got audio stuff on there for purchase, as well as videos, classes and workshops, just all sorts. You don't need to be a subscriber to shop, which is lovely. I'm loving that gig, and there are free previews for the audios and videos. You can just listen for free and watch for free as you like. Some of my subscribers get those ebooks, audios, and videos as part of their subscription package. In fact, top tier, Goddess gets all of it, but the majority of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common. Let me tell you real quick. Number 1, a daily check-in. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link, and we chat pretty much every single morning with each other about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications of said astrological weather, the spiritual implications, the magical applications, always ending with a spiritual practice to send us on our way, and it's the best way for me to start my day, considering what I do for a living. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. All of my extended readings are timeless and relationship stuff oriented, and they get a significant discount when they want to book me for a private session. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. I love it. You can follow us for free, putting out more content for the free followers. They're great. I love them. You can 7-day free trial us as a seeker or a human. There's just so many wonderful things that Patreon is allowing me to do as a mystical artist in this world, and a Virgo doing my service. So if you feel so drawn, if you feel so called, click the link. Just go look at the menu, look at the shop, watch some free stuff, and come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Markangelo Lyons, but you can just call me Mal. Hey, my darling Scorpios and your cross watchers and the cross watchers. Welcome to your timeless shadow read. As I said, we're going to do some explanation for the new Scorpios and cross watchers, and we'll dive into the divination. Feel free to jump ahead, like these cards, if you have heard it all before. Welcome, new Scorpios and cross watchers. I do a little breath work, a little prayer, a little something before every reading I do, whether it's for YouTube, a client, whatever. And they told me to kind of slow down a little bit on this one. So, we'll do the best that we can, but let's start with some explanation, and then we'll jump into said divination. What we're doing here is a shadow read, right? We're going to be using 6 cards, 1 card from 6 different decks, to help you get the clues, tips, and hints you need to empower yourself, doing the shadow work, the healing, the release, the letting go, the spiritual alchemy, from shadow to light, from lead to gold, from pain to peace. So we all shift from toxicity to health, from fear to love, and from illusions to truth, because there's always a higher truth, for happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser lives, and a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world. And who don't want that? Well, some people, obviously. So our first card down will be a Caroline Myss archetype. That's M-Y-S-S. She's a PhD and the author of Anatomy of the Spirit, Sacred Contracts. Both of those books heavily influence this type of work. That's why we're using her archetype cards to represent the pattern going on in the 8th chakra, hovering over your head. The soul routing system indicates the shadow to light, the alchemy, lead to gold, because all archetypes are neutral no matter how they sound. There is a shadow and a light. I just call them lead and gold. We'll get the next 4 chakras down. with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Feminine energy, internal dynamic, yin dynamic, whatever you want to call it. The world behind your eyes that Scorpios don't usually share unless they really, really wanna. The lower 3 chakras, the masculine, the yang dynamic, whatever you want to call it. Relationships in the physical world, looking at yourself from the outside, maybe you from the inside, looking out at people, places, and things, particularly with cross-watchers involved in these readings. You know, they're clues, tips, and hints to help you also listen to your gut and your intuition. So we'll see how that goes. After the chakras are on the table, that is all 8, from 8th to root. We're getting a Whispers of Lord Ganesha by Angela Hartfield. Ganesha, the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. And the 3 atoms between lead and gold on the periodic table we are seeing as archetypal obstacles, which is a little hard to say. It's a great oracle. I love it. And how many stories are there where the hero on the hero's journey has some animal help along with them, right? We all have totemic energies around us all the time. Some of them are inherited, some of them are called to us, and some we are called to. So, The Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. A lot of info, but these last 3 decks, I'm reading from the bookie book, but only a little teeny tiny little bit, because these readings are long enough. They used to be 8 card draws. We're only doing 6, and I've got a new kitten in the house, which I will be popping up a picture for at the end if you want, because he's adorbs. I love him, my Sammy. Our last card down, we will be doing a Matt Kahn healing mantra to help you, you know, have a little chant, a little something, something. To help you to do the shadow work, right? Releasing, surrendering, forgiving, transmuting, healing, whatever you want to call it. Because as one of us does that, we all move forward. There's really only one shadow, the collective, what Eckhart Tolle calls the collective pain body in The Power of Now. But it's been said in so many different ways for millennia, let alone centuries. And there is a section in the description box of videos, not my own, that talk about shadow work and healing and, you know, all this stuff. So you might find that helpful as well. That's our explanation. Let's take our time with this one into the divination. The shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point. So both feet on the floor if you can, and I just learned this. If you sit in a way where your knees are lower than your hips, your lower back automatically straightens. I'm like, woo, that's helpful, right? Second chakra, Scorpio, right down in there. Yeah, and I will do my best to help anybody do the shadow work. As I said, as one of us shifts to a more golden, loving timeline rather than a leaded, fearful timeline, we take our loved ones with us unless they're really adamant about not going along, because everybody's got free will. Shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. The place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, what's going on in the 8th chakra, indicating the shadow work for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross-watchers. Alchemizing their shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, shifting from toxicity to health, fear to love, illusion to truth. For this time, let's read, The Exorcist. Scorpio. Just beware pea soup. You know, make sure it's at least split pea. Written on the card, this is a divine family archetype. There are 9 different families, often associated with the shaman. When you hear it, that will make some more sense. So written down here is the shadow attribute. This is the light attribute. I call this lead, this gold. Those 3 atoms in between that Ganesh is going to help you remove those and alchemize into gold. So the lead, fear of facing your own demons. Well, that's epidemic proportion on planet Earth for thousands, again, the millennia, thousands and thousands of years. The light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. You think that might be helpful? Right? Because we all have destructive impulses. And by the way, destruction is not necessarily evil. How could you digest your food without stomach acids, right? That what? Destroys the, the cell membrane, whatever. I'm a witch. I'm not a nutritionist, but I do understand I am a Virgo. Of course, I understand digestive processes and the excretory and all of that, right? So, look, who ain't got their demons? But that's the thing. We think our demons are who we are, and it's not. They're not. They are not. They're often collective. And if you're any kind of emotional, vibrational, energetic empath, you're feeling that, right? Just learn about the 7 deadlies. SDS, as I call them, the 7 deadly sins, right? And know that there are, 7 holy virtues. Read my book, Words of Grace. Read Defy Gravity by Caroline Myss. Like, there's so much information about this stuff. And our ancestors and your parents most likely didn't know about shadow work, right? So this is for us. This is like, regardless of what age you are, here's your opportunity to free the world and yourself, by the way, nice perk, of destructive impulses. But you cannot heal what you will not acknowledge. There you go. And no one needs to know, right? Unless you're working with somebody, a therapist, a counselor. I do spiritual counseling pretty much every day. So I hear all sorts of confessions. And it's just holding safe space for people, right? So that they can what? Get it off their chest from the heart chakra up into the poop and heal, hopefully. All right. Speaking of heart, third eye, crown, kind of, sort of, let's see what the goddesses have to say. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm in. Still point. My goddesses override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. My beloved goddesses, one card in clarity, please. Heart, third eye, crown, internal dynamic. For the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their cross watchers to help them alchemize the Exorcist in this timeless shadow read, the Strength card. When it's a major arcana card, when I do a chakra read like this, like one card for a whole zone, it usually indicates the fusing together of all four. That's maybe not the best word, fusing, but the congruence, the unity, right? Working as one energy field. So we know the Strength card, right? It is about courage. So yeah, maybe a little bit more focus on the heart chakra, as it were. Love is divine power, certainly for the Exorcist, a divine family archetype that would, be essential, I would think. And when do you really need the Strength card, right? When you're dealing with something. Now, I will say that the chance of victory with this and courage and all of that stuff, you'll hear follow your heart. Oh, absolutely. Unless you're in a rampage of vengeance and wrath, the deadly sin of the heart chakra, then maybe not, right? Maybe not. But that doesn't mean that those impulses are there. All archetypes are neutral, including major arcana and all of this stuff, right? It's where is it on a scale of lead to gold, right? Lead is toxic, gold is healing. Lead is an insulator, keeps energy from moving. Gold is a conductor, it moves it along. So let's look at the lower 3 chakras. Again, this can be looking at yourself from the outside and you from the inside, looking out at people, places, and things in the world, but it's often both, what's called mirroring. I'm sure you're aware of it. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. My beloved gods, one card in clarity, please, for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their cross watchers. We're watching this video and drawn to this reading. What do they need to be aware of outside in, inside out, lower 3 chakra dynamic, Exorcist in the 8th, Strength on the inner, in this timeless shadow read? You got a double whammy. You got both strength cards. Holy crap, that is so rare. Holy carp. Oh my goodness gracious. You've got like this Amazon warrior like hunting, and you know she's not burdening the lioness. She's not letting it run wild. It's like she's riding along with it. It takes great courage to do that. And here you have Heracles in the mythic tarot completing one of his labors to regain his godhood, right? The hero's journey right there for you, slaying the Nemean lion, which he turns into a lovely style piece, little accent piece through the rest of his labors. You know, it was interesting. Did you get that dry cleaned? You know what I mean? Don't do it now. Leave the lions alone, considering my last name. Lyrian Starseeds Unite. Okay, so look, this is very, very powerful, right? Because think of all of this leonine power, courage on the inside, courage on the outside, but again, an alignment of the lower three chakras. Pay attention to the intuitive voices of the root, the sacrum, and the solar plexus. The root chakra will tell you if it's fight or flight, right? Is the lion going to pounce or run? But sometimes both can be in play, right? Second chakra will tell you your one-on-one relationships and your creativity and your what feels right for you energetically in that moment, one-on-one, right? Solar plexus, your honor code, which I think, you know, your personal power, your boundaries, all that stuff in the solar plexus, it will tell you. But we have to learn those voices. We have relationships with our chakras in a way, and relationships are built on communication. So again, this might be something visible, right? Very Leo energy here. And, you know, major arcana, it to me, there are places like stages, archetypal stages in your life, right? Like, oh, I was in a good place, I was in a bad place, metaphorically, archetypally speaking, at least. So, very hero's journey. It's sort of like an Exorcist hero, which you have to admit, Constantine at least, right? And so many, the guy who plays him in the CW, oh dear God. Woof! Shall we? Instead from the woof, let's go for the elephant, as we'll ask Lord Ganesh how to help remove the obstacles with the Exorcist in the 8th, and strength on the inner and the outer. This is cool. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ganesh override. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Lord Ganesh, please, one card in clarity for the Scorpios and their cross-watchers. What is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help them alchemize the Exorcist in the 8th? Strength on the inner, strength in the outer, in this timeless shadow read. Understanding the eye of Lord Ganesh. Now, if you've ever looked into the eye of... Sorry, I'm having an Oklahoma flashback, right? The corn is as high as the elephant's eye, but the eye of Ganesh, if you've ever looked into the eye of an elephant, or the heart of an artichoke for that matter, little Betty Davis, are you there? Then, you see the innocence, you see the love, as long as it's not coming at you, one would imagine. So I'm just going to read a little bit. This is one of these last 3 are bookie book reads. So, clear vision. Understanding is the key word. Clear vision is the gift of seeing with not only your physical eyes, but also with your spiritual eyes. The eye of Ganesh symbolizes the state of grace that is reached through your willingness to do your spiritual work in this lifetime. Makes sense? As you focus on your life lessons, you reclaim the true meaning of your being, which is the larger purpose. Seek ye not reason. Humans truck in reason. The divine only trucks in purpose. You have the talent and determination to continue on this course before you. The eye holds the key to your higher consciousness and your gift of awareness. There's always a higher truth. That's just how it is, no matter how much you think you know. There's always, because it's moving us into unity, blah, blah, blah. The I holds the key to your higher consciousness and your gift of awareness. Look for the deeper meaning in ordinary experiences. Work on being more observant. Remember to live in balance with your physical and spiritual bodies. They're telling me to do a little bit more here. Take time to look at your current circumstances from a different perspective, like as a hero on a hero's journey. Just one example. Free yourself from limiting thoughts and beliefs. You are receiving an opportunity to move beyond your past. Shadow work, accept that the fear from the past and even as you move forward serves a greater purpose. There we go. Imagine yourself soaring above the current situation, which is what a reading is for. It's like GPS. You look down, right? Imagine yourself soaring above this current situation and gaining a greater perspective. It is your ability to rise above the conditions that will benefit you and assist you in flourishing. Right? So of course we all have fears, we all have inner demons, but remember, they were written into the script before you ever drew breath in this life. You are an immortal soul on a hero's journey with human patterns like everybody else. So that's why as one of us heals, all of us heals. Jump to a more golden, loving timeline. Scorpio. I love you guys. I have so many Scorpios in my life, and I adore them all, honestly. Yeah, pretty much. So let's see what the animal kingdom has to say for you. Everyone's got totemic vibes. They're always around us, so why not ask for their help? Because they're there. But like all higher vibrational beings, they don't come unless you ask. Boundaries, choices. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Totemic override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. Put all where it belongs. In time and space. For the well-being of all with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved spirit animals and totems for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross watchers. Which of you walks with them, swims with them, flies with them, crawls with them, offering them an oracle message, but also the protection, the power, the love, the wisdom, and the inspiration needed to alchemize the Exorcist in the 8th, strength on the inner, strength on the outer, with the eye of Ganesh understanding as they go for this timeless shadow read. Bison ritual. Someone else got this. Who got this? Was it Virgo? I have it written down, but I really should have been a doctor. With my handwriting, yes, Virgo did get it. So this is why I'm a Virgo. So I write all this stuff down, and you bet I apply it, man. I'm going to put the time and energy into it. I might as well, follow what hits the table. So card number 35, the bison, which is the buffalo, the bison, depending, I don't want to get canceled for, misnaming essentially a bovine, right? They are bovines. Is that safe to say? Buffalo canceling. Bison, keyword, ritual. Live with authenticity and peace. Live with authenticity and peace. Do not live how other people wish you to live. Your life is yours. That's what free will is all about. And that's why sometimes those demons can get us to compromise that out of fear or lack. And you cannot have a thought of lack without fear, or a thought of fear without lack. And that's A Course in Miracles for you. Bringing the peace of ritual into our lives can heal us. Nourish yourself and develop habits that are beneficial and useful for you and your family. Now, I used to do this when I did these reads before, and I wasn't going to do them this time, but I'm kind of getting the hint to read you the magic. There's a lot in here, lots of little paragraphy things. The magic of the bison is an ancient one that asks us to put aside the everyday and connect with the natural world and that of the spirits. Having everyday rituals is an important touchstone for mental and spiritual help. Keeping to good and positive ritual and habits for ourselves is something with which the bison can help us. And you got to admit, very strong, very stable, very much... it's such a long story of buffalo and bison here in North America, in the United States, and the travesties that are connected to that, as well as the great teachings that have come from the indigenous people through and about the bison. So, you know, this is an interesting thing with the Exorcist, right? To do rituals, purificational rituals, right? I'm very Hercule Poirot about my spiritual practice, order, and method, but I'm a Virgo with a Pisces moon, so I have to change it up as it goes. Always a higher truth. So when I have like spiritual counseling clients and students, I'll say to them, all right, your first assignment, write yourself a prayer, your own words, and change it as you go, right? And it's, you know, it just keeps building. So a ritual is really any action that has meaning to it that you repeat, right? A ceremony is usually a once and done, right? So people get rituals and ceremonies, but there can be lots of rituals and ceremonies. So, you know, play with that. To each their own. Last card down. Matt Kahn healing mantra, which with the eye of understanding here might be very, very helpful. I mean, that is mental energy, right? Beliefs and all that stuff, element of air, and water is made up of air. Hey, look, I didn't make it that way, Scorpios. Don't come for me on that, because I know you. Please take a nice deep breath. Hi, Pam. Still point. Ascended Master Override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. My beloved Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity, the perfect and precise healing mantra for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers to help them alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, so they shift from pain to peace, from toxicity to health, and fear to love with the Exorcist and the Eighth, strength on the inner, strength on the outer, eye of understanding, and the ritual of the bison totem for this timeless shadow read. Receiving elation. It's clearing out room, right? From pain to peace. From, well, what's the opposite of joy? Sorrow, right? So from sorrow to joy, because it's all an emotional thing. So I am born of infinite joy, and that is the immortal soul. So the soul is over here. I love you. I'm born of infinite joy. I am who you really are. And over here you got the ego going, no, screw that. We got bills to pay. We got mouths to be. There ain't nothing in this world for free. And the heroic personality, the persona, has to kind of like do this, right? Like, who you gonna listen to moment by moment by moment, and you can only make those free will choices moment by moment by moment, but it does take immense strength. It takes immense strength on the inner, the courage to do that, right? To choose love, cœur, the French word of the heart, right? And to take the hero's journey, but the mental component of this is just really, really key with that understanding. So to raise your vibration, if you want to call it that, right? Get up into the atmosphere and look down like GPS, right? And try and get a more holistic, with the W in front of it, holistic, right? See the whole picture as best as you can. And certainly ritual is a way of doing that for, you know, as an exorcist, as a shaman, again, millennia, right? We're going on a really, really, really long time. So let me read this for you. Receiving elation. I'm born of infinite joy. On the right track, baby. I was born this way. Where are you, alphabetical? Receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy, don't you know? When elation is received, joy becomes your natural state of being, because it is our natural state of being underneath it all. Again, Eckhart Tolle, right? Zen, right? The core of who we are. It's not like I just came up with that and read it. Oh, really? No. In elation, you are aligning with the ecstatic nature of the universe to live each moment with renewed passion and purpose. Purpose, not reason. Purpose, right? That I'm going to incarnate this joy into this world. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Elation helps you enjoy your human journey as it is right now without projecting your fulfillment onto the anticipation of future pending outcomes, because there is no future and there is no past. If you really want to go Eastern philosophies on this, we only have now. Both of those have to be imagined Just saying. Yeah, I just came up with that. Isn't that great? No, I didn't. This mantra is ideal for increasing the flow of creative inspiration. Who doesn't want that? Elevating the immune system. Who doesn't want that? And being more present. So yes, of course, I'm going to recommend Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, or anything. You know, people come to me and they say, I can't meditate. I'm like, you do it all the time. Just don't realize it. I'm not the first person to say that either, but I do think some kind of practice of presence, right? Being present in the moment, in the now, some sort of ritual to follow you. Even if it's washing dishes, I didn't come up with that either, right? Or sweeping. There's an ancient meditative understanding helping you to rise above the thoughts, and that is, of course, ritualistic as you want to make it. So, if you are new, we end my readings here on the tube of you with what we call a blessimation. It's a blessing and a summation. The word was created over on my Patreon, and it's just stuck in my third eye. I don't think I can think of this any other way now. So I don't usually know what's going to come out of my mouth anyway when I do this work, but when I do the blessimations, sometimes they travel. So if you're ready for it, get ready for it. And if you want, chill. We'll talk about some other cool stuff before we're done. Ready? One last time for this reading at least. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. As we end, as we began. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their crosswatchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, shifting from toxicity to health, from fear to love, and from illusion to truth, by receiving elation, because they are born of infinite joy, calling upon the power of ritual, large, small, intricate, simple as they choose to go, to help them remove the obstacles, inner and outer, with that double strength vibe, thereby understanding, by seeing it from a higher place, rising above the thoughts and seeing the larger picture, because they are on a hero's journey, and it's going to take all lower three chakras, survival, intuition, to really place each step as they go, as it is needed, while they find the courage inside of themselves to be that infinite joy of which they are born of, from, pick your preposition, I think that is, so that they can alchemize the Exorcist in the 8th, freeing themselves and others of destructive purposes for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life, in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So would it be. And so it is. Just thinking about some of my Scorpios in my life. Oh, blessed be. Blessed be the Scorpions. If you liked the reading, if you found it helpful, hit the thumbs up. The like button shifts the algorithm so other people can find the reading. And I would think, freeing the world of destructive impulses could be handy. Could be, I don't know. We're all in this together. You might as well pull up an oar, sister. We're in the same boat. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm not stopping. Obviously, I have too much fun doing this, and this is a really good outlet for my mystical art form of divination. You got to admit, I'm the writer, I'm the producer, although what do I write? It flies out of me. And certainly, if you want the deeper dive, come play on Patreon. I could go on and on about it forever because I love it. It's the wisest career move I've ever made. I love the community we're building over there. Seekers, humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, mystics, gods, goddesses, get everything. You can follow for free. You can even 7-day free trial as a seeker or a human on Patreon. You can shop in the store. There's just so much cool stuff, and I love it. And I just highly recommend it for creative types in general. I highly recommend being a creator on Patreon. So click the link. Just go look at the menu. Go watch some videos. Go listen to some audios and purchase as you will. And come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons. You can just call me Mal. And I'm a hoot. I am the fun one. 55 years old, been reading tarot since I'm 12. I have a sense of humor about it, as one would. And if you want to book me for a private session, a reading, a spiritual counseling, or what we call a half and half, a little of both, well, there is a video I made for my 25th anniversary of Drawing the Circle Productions, May 1st, 2023, called Booking Private Sessions with Mal. I was living in Holbrook, Long Island. Now I am living in Saratoga Springs in New York. So I have to remake that video. There are some changes that been made, but you can watch the video now. My mom likes it, so we're going to keep it live. We're going to keep it public. Explains everything you need to know, basically, about booking a private session with me, except now, for example, I'm doing readings at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs 3 days a week. They let me know you book, you call them directly, right? And then I show up, I read you, and if there are no more clients, I come home and do more stuff like this. And take clients as well. But the video does explain what I charge, why I charge it, the Patreon discount, what my boundaries are, right? What my ethical code is, like confidentiality. For example, the majority of the clients I have, as you can imagine, would be online, right? So we do a Zoom recording. I send them a link from my Zoom account. They come into the thing. We hit record. The cards hit the table. They don't have to memorize. They don't have to take notes. It's all there for them, because then I send them the link. They download the entire recorded session. They tell me they retired it. They tell me they downloaded it, and I delete it, because confidentiality is key. I don't think you can do this work if you're like talking about your clients and letting people's deep dark secrets out into the world, particularly with Scorpios. They won't come for you, right? Don't do it. I'm talking about the Exorcist there, right? But the most important thing I say in that video is that I've never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. Oh, they live and let live, fairly take and fairly give. Thank you, Doreen Valiente. I live by that. But by all means, where there's a witch, there's a way. I'm a witch, so there's a way. We always work it out. And I don't mind bartering every now and again, but it's got to be of equal give and take. Otherwise, no go. We'll work it out. We always do. So yeah, book me if you like. And do you want to see a picture of the new kitten? I know some of you have, if you've been following me on Facebook, and there are new reels and pictures and all that stuff coming too. But here he is. Sammy for short, who's with me, I think, maybe 24 hours at that point, maybe less. He's growing big. He loves his cat tree. His older brothers are adjusting. And if you want to find more feline witch cat antics, just follow me on Facebook or, Instagram or whatever, because I love that kitten so much, and I'm just in love. I guess you could say I'm kitten smitten. And the other boys are coming along, so it's all good. I'm surprised they're not yowling at the door. This is the one room the kitten's not really allowed in, because just with all of that up there, no, cat toy cacophony. So thank you so much for watching, my beloved Scorpios. Look, you have the strength. You can do this. You're not exactly a weakling of a sign, right? But the ritual, repetition is the mother of skill. I learned that from Tony Robbins, the firewalk guy, the unlimited power, and man, is he tall. Woof. So I had a little Scorpio moment there. I must be empathing the Scorpios out there. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it, and I believe in you. Hang in there. You got this. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.